What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is Eric, and today we're talking about Season 6 of Better Call Saul. Episode 1 and 2 just premiered last night. These are my thoughts on the episode, including some cool Easter eggs that were seen at the beginning of the episode. As this season kicks off, you have Kim and Jimmy, now Saul. They are starting to execute a plan to destroy Howard's career and force him to settle the Sandpiper case. And at the same time, you have Nacho on the run, trying to survive, trying to get back to the USA in one piece. And then you have Lalo, who survived the attempt on his life at the end of Season 5, and he is planning his next moves. I am a huge fan of this show, and of course Breaking Bad as well. I've been heavily anticipating this final season, and it kicked off with a massive bang. I loved this episode. I'm going to get into some of the details, including spoilers, some small spoilers, so you have been warned. Let's get into this. And the episode kicks off with a scene where you have a group of workers removing all of Saul's belongings from his place that he had when he was rich, successful Saul in Breaking Bad. And there are lots of little Easter eggs here. I'm sure that I missed some. Put some more in the comments section if you saw anything, but you can actually see a couple of pairs of those MBT physiological shoes that he bought as part of the scheme to alienate the old lady Irene from her friends in Season 3 so that she would settle the Sandpiper case. We also see his Cadillac with the Lawyer Up license plate. And then there's the cork from the bottle that Kim and Jimmy kept as a keepsake after they got that stockbroker to keep buying them $50 shots over and over in Season 2, one of their first scams together. And they had a lot of fun with it. So that cork has been around. We've seen it multiple times, and it falls out of the back of the truck as they are packing up all of Jimmy's belongings, or Saul's belongings. We also see the luxury that he had during that Breaking Bad era. Gold everywhere. You got the gold toilet. It's all being taken away. You get the big cardboard cutout of Saul that they throw in the trash. And it's just a really cool opening scene. But then we jump into the present day in the Better Call Saul timeline. You have Nacho on the run after he betrayed Lalo. And Nacho gets a call saying Lalo is dead, but we know that's not true. Tells him to lay low. He's being heavily hunted by not just the Salamancas, but even law enforcement. And his whole journey trying to stay alive, it is absolutely riveting. He gets to this motel, and the lady there, she just kind of is watching TV. She hesitates, and then she hands him a key. And, no words are spoken. It is badass. We know that he was instructed to go there. It's completely awesome. The timing, everything, the shots, the cinematography are on point. Everyone pretty much thinks Lalo is dead except Gus, who is very suspicious that he's still alive, which of course is true. And then we go back to Lalo. He ends up going to Mateo and Sylvia's house. And this scene is really tense. As Lalo, we know he can be very friendly on the outside, but he is a cold-blooded monster on the inside. So he grabs this pair of scissors while Sylvia's cooking. She's so, polite and innocent, and we really like her. And it's really tense. Like, oh my God, is he going to kill her? Is he going to kill, both her and Mateo? What is going on? The tension is very strong. Anyway, the tension is insane right here. We don't know what he is capable of, what he's going to do with those scissors. Meanwhile, you have Mike trying to convince Gus, hey, loyalty goes both ways. Let's bring Nacho back safe and sound. He's done everything you've asked. We've seen similar conversations in the past with Mike trying to do the right thing to some extent. But Gus, he is cruel. He is all about business, all about what benefits him, and he is not going for it. And I just love all of the scenes where you see Gus, where you see Mike conversating. All the scenes with Gus in this episode kick ass. He goes to see Hector, and just from the look in Hector Salamanca's eyes, Gus knows that Lalo lives. Just an awesome scene. And they also had the argument between Saul and the prosecutors. This is another awesome scene where the prosecutors realize that something is wrong here. That family that was sitting in the back of the courtroom with Lalo there, that was fake. They are onto it, but right now Lalo is out on bail, and there's really nothing they can do about it. And that's what Jimmy says, or excuse me, Saul tells them, hey, There's nothing you can do. Okay, we paid the $7 million. You got to wait until that he has to appear in court, and he will appear in court at that time. Okay, so stop messing with Lalo. And he used the name Lalo when right now that is not his name. That they are using a alias right now. So he accidentally let Lalo's name slip. And then was like, oh, yo, what did I say? Sorry, I got a lot of clients. I'm not sure. We're not sure yet if that little line worked or not, or if the prosecutors are even more suspicious now, which is what it looked like. And then you had one of the other major plot points I mentioned at the beginning, which is this plan against Howard that is, really moved along more by Kim than Saul. Saul actually seems a bit reluctant. And I mean, we're talking about destroying this guy's career and his life, and he certainly does not deserve that. Whether you like Howard or not, I mean, he's not a horrible person, and he definitely does not deserve what they're doing to him. And the entire scene at the golf course was pretty funny. Also disturbing, again, planting the powder that looks like drugs, just trying to plant those seeds in Clifford Maine's head that, hey, what's going on here? Because Clifford obviously sees the drugs. He doesn't think too much of it because there's no way that, he knows Howard very well. He knows this guy's not on drugs. So it's just kind of a weird thing that happens with that little powder falls out. But anyway, it just shows how far Kim has fallen. She was always the straight one. She was always doing things by the book. She would never dream of doing something like this. And it was Saul who's actually hesitant in going through with this, even though it seems he's going to do it. So really interesting. And also, the Kettlemans are back, and it's so awesome to see them again. They are now running a tax scam. They are ripping off people, shorting them on their tax refunds, and every scene with them is hilarious, especially Mrs. Kettleman. She's outspoken, angry, aggressive. You got Mr. Kettleman, who's the opposite. He is more calm, and there are moments where he, tries to support his wife, so he tries to act like big and bad as well. It comes across as just hilarious. Like, we're really mad. It's a great contrast. It's really fun to watch. And they're also hilarious when they go to see, Davis and Maine, and they talk to Clifford and Maine about saying, hey, we know that we had bad counsel because Howard Hamlin is on drugs. He is on drugs, you can tell. And it was just a insane meeting. And obviously Clifford refuses the case. Says, sorry, I can't help y'all. It was just absolutely insane. And they're just planting the seeds right now. And who knows what's going to happen in the future, what else they're going to do to screw over Howard Hamlin. And you got to feel bad for Howard. I feel absolutely awful for Howard, but this is the direction that these characters are going. And it's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out and how we end up with the Saul Goodman that we know from Breaking Bad. That is the transformation that's going to happen. It's going to be really interesting. And the episode ends, of course, you have Lalo killing these two guys who wouldn't give his money back after he wanted to enter the USA. He paid them some money and then changed his mind, said, can I get my money back? Ends up whacking them in another really cool scene, really an awesome scene, just edge of your seat the entire episode. I really enjoyed it. No negatives that I can think of, and I can't wait to see how the rest of this series goes. 10 out of 10 for episode 1 and 2 of season 6. The premiere. Let me know in that comment section down below. I appreciate it, and I can always review the other seasons as well. Eventually I will do that, as well as Breaking Bad, one of my favorite TV shows of all time, and this was a lot of fun. You guys have a great day. Hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Hit that subscribe button. We will talk to you all next time.